Hey, my name is Barb Herrera, and this is Health at Any Cost. I started my Monjaro, my GLP-1 excursion a little over 3 years ago. And then a couple days ago was my 2 year anniversary, my 2 year Terziversary on Monjaro. I'm in maintenance right now. I've been in maintenance since the middle of December of 2024. I started at 405 pounds and now I hover right around 125. I am 123 today. My lowest has been 121, which did not thrill me in the least, but that's another story. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about, there's some, I've got notes because this is a little complicated. So I'm going to just every once in a while check at my notes. So don't mind me if I look down for a second. So change is part of my life. All my life, I've had nothing but change. Everything from having kids and then now being a grandma, things like that. But I want to tell you that I studied and practiced being Jewish for about 15 years before deciding to not be Jewish. Um, it's a long, convoluted story. Part of this is just giving you the groundwork of me being filled with change in my life. I studied Buddhism. I was a born again Christian in high school, and I'm a hippie, which, if you look at my old pictures and my tie dye, I'm definitely still pretty much a hippie, but I'm an old hippie. Um, I was a home birth midwife for a long time. I have been in the birth world for about 30, was in the birth world for 32 years. Started in 1984, 83 actually. And I was a home birth midwife and I was very pro home birth until I wasn't. And then I moved over and became a home birth critic, and that caused a lot of rift in my midwifery community. But I just change a lot. There was one time that I went home and I was talking to my mom, and she said to me, she said, Barbara Ellen, she said, if you came home and told me you were going to be African American, I would believe you. And that just gives you an example of how much my life has changed. I've gone up and down in weight. I was on fen-phen in 1996, lost 111 pounds, got the heart valve problem, gained the weight back. Then I had a gastric bypass, an RNY gastric bypass in 2001, lost 210 pounds, regained it all back plus. And now here I am on my Monjaro excursion, much more than a journey, and I've lost the 280 pounds. I've also lost all of my comorbidities, my obesity related comorbidities. I'm healthy. My diabetes is in remission. My chronic kidney disease is better. My heart failure is gone. Just all of that has gone by the wayside. However, when we start the GLP-1s, we think there's going to be this linear goal towards we're looking at the scale, we're looking down at the scale, and we're looking also way off into the future when we get to that summit of where we want to be on the scale. Even though I'm real vocal about not always paying attention to the scale, when I hit maintenance in December, and I've been cruising along thinking I'm in maintenance, this is cool, this is my new life. Well, I have had malignant melanoma since 2019. And now 8 weeks ago, I was diagnosed with a blood cancer called CLL/SLL. I'll put a little link down in the description. But it's a lymphoma. And now my life has changed in a way that I didn't quite expect it to do. What's happened with this weight loss is, life was flowing along really nicely. I'm all excited. I'm going to have a DEXA scan. I've had 2 other ones. I was going to have my 3rd one because I hadn't had this one at this weight at my I didn't never had a goal, but at my goal weight at my nadir at the bottom. And I had the DEXA scan on Saturday. Today's Tuesday. Is today Tuesday? Today's Wednesday. Sorry. I'll figure it out. And I had the DEXA scan and I got the results and I was really happy with them. I've only lost, out of all of the times that I've had the DEXA scan, I've only lost 9% muscle, which is phenomenal because, it's supposed to be 25 to 30%. But when you're really big, when you're 400 pounds and you're really big, you have a ton of muscle, literally a ton of muscle. And so I was able to save that even though I ate my protein, but I wasn't working out, lifting weights and things like that. But now I'm needing to. So I don't know how to edit this, but I'm going to show you a little picture. This was me in 2024, at the beginning of 24. This is me at the end of 24. And this is me on Saturday. And look at that. I have a thigh gap even in my DEXA scan. Isn't that wild? But look at all that fat. The fat is the yellow part. Look at all that fat I had. And I was only 211 pounds, already 211 pounds. I started at 400 and here I am with that much fat on my body. Now, the visceral fat is the fat that's on our belly. It's what makes men look like they have a beer belly or they're pregnant, makes old women look like they're pregnant as well. And my visceral fat was really low 9 months ago. It was 0.06, I think is what it was. And that's really, really, really low. This time I have so little visceral fat on my around my organs, it actually reads 0, that I have no visceral fat around my organs. This is not a good thing. It's not something to aspire to, because our organs need protection and the fat does that. And that's one of the things. The other thing is that I've got these 2 cancers now, and one is newly diagnosed, but I've got symptoms. I haven't been treated. We're still waiting for all different kinds of testing to see exactly what medications are going to work and which aren't. My scale, my Arboleaf scale, has said all this time now that I have 30% body fat, which is great. That's exactly where it should be for somebody who's 64 years old. I'm 5'1", 64 years old, and I should have about 30% body fat. And when you look at this and you read all the statistics on here, all the data, I have 15% body fat. That is what athletes have. That's what weightlifters have. And I should not be that low. And it's not like I did anything on purpose. I was eating like I thought I should be eating, but apparently now I need to make a little reverse. And this is what I want to talk about. Because life was flowing along really beautifully, right? Life is doing really well. I was on my maintenance excursion. I was all happy. And when we think we're done losing weight, that's when life begins. That tends to be what a lot of people think. Well, I had been driving on my excursion, driving up a mountain, a beautiful mountain, and it was so pretty over those 3 years. And I'm driving up, and then I get to the summit in December, and I start looking over the summit, and it's so beautiful. And there's sunrises and sunsets, and I watch the moon, and I watch the stars, and I do all these things because I have to walk in the middle of the night because of the cancer, the melanoma. So then I get back in the car after I get a little text, maybe a little page from a pager, like in the olden midwifery days. And I get back in the car, and as I start driving, there's no brakes in the car. And now I'm going down the mountain, and I am careening down the mountain. And I'm struggling to hold on to that wheel. And what I thought was going to be a beautiful, easy, wonderful glide has turned into a harrowing experience. And it's very scary for me. My car without brakes was the DEXA scan. It gave me information that I needed to know, that I needed to gain weight. So I have to gain weight for a couple of reasons. If my cancers flare, people lose weight when they get cancer. That's just one of the things that tends to happen. So I have no cushion, literally no cushion. So I have to gain, just guesstimating at the moment, between 10 and 20 pounds. That freaking scares me to death. All my life, I'm 64, all my life, I've done nothing but try and lose weight or just let myself get enormously fat, one or the other. And I didn't count calories during my 3 years, 3+ years. I didn't write down anything that I ate in those 3+ years. I I didn't care. I didn't even write down macros. I just kind of eyed it. Well, now I have to count calories. And I'm kind of angry about it. I'm cranky. Because now I have to count calories. Thank God for AI. I use Claude AI. He's my AI imaginary friend. And I can take a picture. I was taught by my GLP-1 friend, geeky friends, my nerdy friends. You take a picture of your plate and tell Claude what it is that you're eating, and then you can and he tells you what the calorie count is and things like that. And then after you're done eating, you take a picture and Claude guesstimates what it is that you ate calorie wise. Cool. I don't have to actually do an app. Thank God. That would make me crazier. During the time that I was losing, I don't cook. And there's many reasons for that, but I don't cook. So I was eating lean cuisine and healthy choice and augmenting with shredded chicken and yogurts and things like that. And now I can't eat lean cuisine and healthy choice anymore. Now I have to eat Stouffer's and Marie Callender's. This is like an alternative universe. I don't understand where this is. I'm just so baffled about what is going on. I had a PAP yesterday and talked to my primary care. I got a referral. They're on their way to the providers, but I got a referral for a registered dietitian because I need help. I don't know what to eat. I mean, I've looked it up and Claude's helped me and all this, but I need help trying to figure out what to eat healthy, not crap, because, I had a momentary flash of, oh, I can eat McDonald's fries. I can get fat that way. And then I was like, no, 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 that isn't the issue. And my friend Mindy, Mayor Mindy, bless her heart, said to me, for now, eating and food is medicine. It is not I've always said it's not entertainment. Food is nourishment, not entertainment. But it is medicine for me right now. And that helped me a lot. So I don't want to eat stuff like, that's going to make me sick. I don't want to be sick and fat. I want to be healthy and just a little bit bigger. I also have to work hard to build more muscle. That's something else. Actually, because I only lost the 9% muscle, which is wonderful. But I had, because of being fat for so long, my spine is crushed. I have 8 bulging discs. I've got 4 that are almost herniated. I've got my vertebrae are all crunched together. Some are misaligned and twisted and out of where they're supposed to be. I've got two giant long pages of things that are wrong with my spine. It's a miracle I don't hurt. It really is. I went to see a neurosurgeon and he wanted to do surgery even though I was in no pain. He wanted to fuse my spine. I was like, I was very snarky on the phone saying, no, I didn't want surgery. I said, if in the future I crawl in here on my elbows with my legs dragging behind me, I might consider surgery. But at this moment, I want physical therapy. So I had very little pain anyway, but I went to physical therapy and now I've been pain free for a year and a half. I was 150. I got to 150 when I was in physical therapy. So that was about almost 9 months ago, a year ago, something like that. And yeah, so I have to learn how to, because people are like, oh, just go to the gym, lift weights, blah, 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 blah. Well, I can't do that. If I lift weights, I might herniate a disc. So I got a referral to physical therapy. I'm waiting for them to call me so that I can start physical therapy so that I can learn to lift weights without ruining my back. This is so complicated. I do not understand why my life at this moment, this is part of my frustration, is that this is complicated. I thought things were going to be so much easier, even with cancer and, the Manjaro and stuff. I thought, oh, this is going to be so nice. All my labs are so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And then we also need to move to Manjaro, because I have complete satiation. I have complete food noise gone at 15 milligrams. I've been on 15 milligrams of Manjaro for 22 months, more or less. When we were in shortage and I couldn't get the 15, I would get what I could and augment with compounded, so that I could always stay at the 15, and that helped me a lot. Now I'm on 15 and I need to eat more. So now I need to lower the dose. I'm spreading it out. I just got a box. So I started last Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. And I'm going to spread it out. I'm going to try to wait until Saturday to take the shot. And then let the endocrinologist know that I need 12.5 next time. And just gradually go down. If you hear ticking, it's because it's raining. So it's raining outside. But I need to lower my shot. And I love my 15. I love where I am. It is so, I'm sitting here eating food and I when I started Manjaro, or when I started the Trulicity 3 years ago, I was eating 8 to 10,000 calories a day. And then I go on GLP-1s and I move down to an average of about 1,200. Now you're asking, you didn't count calories. No, I didn't count calories. But I let AI take different hunks of my Uber Eats a day. I did 7 days of Uber Eats so that they could do an overview of what it is, plus the alcohol I was drinking. And then once I quit Uber Eats in 2022, then we're doing Instacart and looking at 7 random days on my Instacart orders as well. So that's what brings me from 8 to 10,000 a day to 1,200 a day. Now I need to gain more. So I was looking at 300 more for right now. Okay, 1,500, whatever. So, Claude's keeping track for me. Well, I ate yesterday like 2,300 calories. I was not happy. I was not hungry, but I wasn't full. I ate 2,000 calories today. And my head says, take your shot, take your shot, take your shot, take your shot. Almost like food noise, but it's shot noise telling me to take my shot. I texted with my wonderful GLP-1 community, and they were just stay, you know what's happening. Just hang in there. It's going to be okay. And just do what you can. So I haven't taken the shot yet, but I'm telling you what, after and I had therapy today too, and that helped too, to talk about that as well. So part of what's really challenging for me is I've held myself up as a success. People say I'm such an inspiration, how wonderful it is that I've lost all this weight. And now here I am in a place where I have to gain weight. And Mindy also, God love Mindy. Mindy coined a word that will probably come into use eventually, if not now, ozemporexia. And for people who cannot stop losing weight because it feels so good to lose weight. Oh my, it's like control. Finally, for once in my life, I'm in control. And to have that taken away now, oh, it's so painful. It's so painful. My head is just so confused about what is going on. I feel like a failure. How can I feel like a failure when I've lost almost 300 pounds and I might need to gain 20? How could that be a failure? But my head is just, rah. And again, I'm in that car careening down the mountain, just doing hairpin turn after hairpin turn, trying to figure out the route and how it is I'm going to stop this car because it keeps going. Okay. 1 second. What I want to know, or what I want to talk about for 1 second, is that I'm an OG pretty much as far as the medications go. And this is all new to us. We're all, as they keep saying, we're all in the wild, wild west of maintenance, not knowing what to do, not knowing if we should go off, how we should do it. Should we stay on a low dose? Should we stay on our highest or our lowest, most effective dose, which is for me has been 15. And y'all are going to have this too. There's going to be things that come up in your life as well that after you hit that spot on the scale, you too are going to have things that throw you for a loop, whether it's illnesses or whether it's family crisis or image things. I mean, there's just all different kinds of things. We think when we're done, that it's nirvana and that's it. And it's not. And I'm here to let you know it's important to stay grounded as you lose weight. Understand that there is no end. This is life. And it doesn't end until it ends. Even though we've met our goal weight, even though we're fitting in the size we want and our hair's grown back and it's beautiful and luxurious and everything is fine in the world, life's going to kick you somewhere. It just does. We know this from being fat our whole lives. It didn't matter if we were fat. It kicked us anyway. Part of why I say take your shot and live your life is for that reason. Because you're going to live your life now. This is your life. Don't wait until you're at the end. Stay in the moment. And this is all hippie. I know. Hippy dippy stuff. Woo woo. Stay in the moment. Feel what is going on with your body and enjoy it. And just know that you never know what's coming, what part on the top of the mountain, what's going to happen as you're going back down or going up even more. So what I want to know is, what would you do? This is part of what I want to hear in the comments, is what would you do if you were told after you were done, after you'd worked so hard that you had to gain weight? How would that make you feel? Would you feel as confused, betrayed, horrified, scared, as I do. It's painful to think about. So if you got this far, put a car and a mountain in the comments, and little emoji in the comments. And know that I love you all so much. And thank you for listening to me go through this. But look at that. That's the good part, right? That's the good part. Look how small I am. Oh, and the other thing about having this and being able to see my fat is now I can see where to give myself my injection, because I have been struggling with where to give an injection. And now I can actually look at that and see where a good place to do it is, because I have no body fat. I have no fat anywhere. But we're going to work on that, right? We're going to do it. I need y'all's good thoughts, as always. And I love y'all. I really do. This is Barb, Health at Any Cost. And I do have a blog. I have never told y'all I have a blog called healthatanycost.com called Health at Any Cost at healthatanycost.com. So wander over there. I write about all different kinds of stuff over there. I'm working on a piece about the food bully right now. I hope to get it out before the weekend. Love you all. Take care. Car, mountain, how you feel if you were told to gain weight. Love you all. Ciao. Turn off.